What's up, y'all, and welcome back to Somewhere Between with Heather Harris, where we are all somewhere between psychotic and iconic, I want it and I got it, and crashing out and locking in. Okay, and this week, child, actually I think for the last couple of weeks we definitely been crashing out more than we've been actually I take that back. I was about to tell y'all a bold-faced lie, because I've had no choice but to lock in during the crash out. So was it really a crash out if I was locking in? Yeah, I don't know, whatever, but you get the vibes. Thank you for being here. Thank you for clicking on whatever you clicked on, you know what I'm saying? Whether you are watching us on YouTube or listening to us on podcasts, okay, on the Spotify and the Apple and all the other stuff. And thank y'all so much for 100 downloads of Somewhere Between. What? But I thank y'all for downloading. I thank you for doing the things. I thank you for subscribing. I thank you for sharing, tell a friend to tell a friend, okay? And yeah, I'm still just gagged that I even really turned this or extended this into being a podcast, and that some of y'all just be listening to my voice. And I love that. I love that. So thank you. And make sure that you follow us on all platforms, child, on the Instagram, on the TikTok, all the things, Somewhere Between, the Somewhere Between IG page, my page, all the things, you know what I'm saying? Get into it because we're there and we're doing the things and we're trying our best, okay? So this episode is brought to you by the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. That's me practicing for when I actually get people to sponsor or do partnerships or whatever. I don't even know, but let's practice that. Can we practice that? Can y'all dream that with me? Yes, I think that was great. This episode, this week, we are getting into being somewhere between what's going on and turn the TV off. Okay, because what is going on? What is going on, right? And this wasn't even the initial video that I was going to upload. I'm test driving being a batch shooter girl, but I think this is also the beauty of not batch shooting, that you get to do things in real time and talk about things in real time, because y'all, there's so much happening, so much going on. And we're going to get into all the things. But before we get into that, because this weekend is Father's Day, I would like to wish a very, 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 very special happy Father's Day to all the amazing fathers out there, especially my father, Heath Harris, okay? The one and not the two. Oh, yeah. Yeah, buddy. The original, one of the baddest to walk the earth. Okay, my daddy. And my mom found this shirt, y'all, and I guess I made this for my dad when I was this age, which was who knows, 2, 3, who knows, but it says world's greatest dad on there, and I thought how sweet would that be for me to wear this in honor of Father's Day for my daddy. Our head of the board of directors and all the things for Somewhere Between, who created these beautiful Somewhere Between mugs, okay, my daddy, my daddy, and all the things. So I was like, oh, this is so cute. And wasn't I cute? I was cute, but I was real cute. I was real cute. And I'm sending love and the biggest hug and prayers of just comfort and peace to anyone who may have lost their father, anyone who may not even know their fathers, or anyone who may be trying to mend their relationship with their fathers, whatever your situation is. I'm sending love to you, because I know Father's Day, Mother's Day, all these different, holidays can bring so many different emotions for different people and can be triggering. And I want to hold space for that, while also holding space for celebrating the incredible dads that are out there, and the father figures that are in people's lives, the uncles, the godfathers, okay? Because I have some really great uncles, and I have a fantastic godfather, okay? Shout out to my G daddy, who have stepped up and stood in the gap for different people in different seasons of their lives and been those father figures. And shout out to y'all too, because we honor y'all on this day as well. Shout out to Yvette Harris for choosing a great husband and father. Okay, because he wasn't just fine, but he got a great mind. Okay, so you did that, girl. Because I got to shout out to my mama. Okay, and other things, and also shout out to the mothers that have to step. They have to step up and do the things for their kids as well. I'm just trying to cover all my bases, but yes, I really just want to send a special shout out to my daddy, my father, because I love him infinitely. When you see me, you see him, not just in my face. Right, not just in the face, because honestly now it's really more so giving Yvette, but like we'll get into that later. But I am who I am because of my father. I think a lot of like oldest daughters, like maybe not all of them, right? I can't speak for everybody, but like I'm my father's child. I am literally my father's child. I always be like I'm my mother's daughter, but I'm my father's child. And I feel like the best things that are in me come from my parents, especially my work ethic, my mindset, and it has been a gift to be able to see my parents in this season in so many different ways, and I have so much gratitude for them. I'm like literally trying to find my words because I'm really about to get emotional about it, and I don't want to be emotional about it. Here I go. Am I ever gonna be able to do a podcast without crying? Sorry y'all, this is like hard for me to do and to talk about. This Father's Day is extra special this year, because it is the first Father's Day that we will be celebrating without my papa, and I've been very open about my grief journey and all those things, so I definitely think that I want to be extra intentional about celebrating my dad and honoring him in any space that I can, in any way that I can. And the best way that I know how to do that is to keep going on this journey and not to quit and not to give up, because he has always supported us in anything that we have done. He has always made us feel like we could do anything, that we wanted to do. And by the grace of God, I get to do exactly what it is that I want to do. And I know that it is also because I watched him do the same thing. And I don't play about my daddy, so I'll be like, put some respect on my daddy's name and even what he's done, the work that he has done in the city of Dallas that will never even be in history books, but is etched on the many hearts of the different people that he has touched, and lives that he has changed and saved. You can't save everybody, but he does his damnedest to do right by everyone and stretches himself so thin in so many ways for all of us. And I know that this has been a very difficult season that he has had to walk through the last couple of years, and he has done it very courageously, and with love and with a smile on the days that he can. So yeah, shout out to my daddy, the baddest Snoop to ever do it. Argue with your mama. I love my daddy. I love my papa, which he is here with us in my photo. That will be here. So yeah. Okay, child, I'm not trying to make this like long as I'll get out. That leads me into what inspired this week's episode, because child, the anticipation of this Father's Day and the heavy emotions that are going to come with it, or that have already come with it, for me this year, because I was like being avoidant about not wanting to feel the things at all. I found myself not even being aware of what was literally going on right down the street. Friend, I was hearing all these helicopters and these police cars at odd hours, and I'm like, it's not like it's a lot of them. And I had no idea what was going on until I decided to plug in. And to my surprise, I was like, oh my God, like, what is happening? What is going on? Okay, cue Marvin Gaye, because what's going on? Okay, what's going on? I was going to talk about in this episode was duality. Initially, because I was like, with adulting, adulting is full of so many different realities that are happening all at once. Like, I go from how I'm gonna pay my bills to ICE is doing what downtown? What is going on? Huh? What you mean? What is happening politically? Elon and Trump going at it on Twitter. Child, what is going on? And having to navigate all of these different spaces and manage all these different spaces at the same time. And that is exhausting. Was that even a full sentence? I don't know, right? And because we are living in unprecedented times, is that how you say that? Yeah, that's how you say it. Unprecedented. Child, friend, because we living in crazy times. Ignorance is not an option, and being silent feels like you are being complicit, and being plugged in deems you as being a good person. You being locked into everything that's happening on the news and like making sure that like you repost feels like you made a donation. There is this weight that comes with the awareness of everything that is happening right now, and it is truly everything, everywhere, all at once, all the time. Managing all of this, both off of social media and on social media, is so hard, and it feels impossible to be grounded and present as the world is constantly on fire. It's like this emotional whiplash that keeps happening. I'm literally just a girl. Like, I'm just a girl living in a lonely world, deadass. In me asking myself, like, am I being selfish, because I wasn't aware, like, and all this other stuff, because I'm choosing to like unplug because of all the other things that are emotionally weighing me down already. I obviously acknowledge like that I have a privilege to unplug. There is a privilege that I have to unplug, to not be aware of these things. And there are some people that do not have the privilege of doing that. At least this time I do, because as we were doing a check-in in my class, and one of my classmates was just sharing his frustration, because he was like, I know people who have been deported, who are being directly affected by all of this, and all I could do was hold space for him and sympathy, whichever one it is, for him in that moment, because I could remember coming to class the day after the election and being pissed off about Kamala losing the election and feeling hopeless and helpless, because the one thing that I knew that I could do to change it, which was vote, did nothing. Did not help or solve it. I envy our grandparents and our parents who did not have social media, who did not have to look at this kind of stuff every single day and have the weight of the world, literally the world, on their shoulders, and on top of their inner world and their personal world and their personal lives of things, because there's still so many things that are happening, right? There are still people like at the same time that I'm seeing all this stuff with deportations, I'm seeing people who are dying from breast cancer. And being a woman, I just had to go and get extensive testing done to make sure that there was nothing going on with my own breast, because I had concerns, right? And holding space for that, but then also holding space for the celebrations and people graduating and people having babies and people getting married and all these different realities that are happening, and also trying to be informed about what's happening across the world in other countries. Like, this is a lot, and I envy our grandparents who, learned or I guess had the privilege of being able to engage in the civil rights movement, but also going home and being at home, being where they were, you know what I mean? And not having to be like, we are connected daily. We are connected all the time to what is happening around the world. And that is a great tool when we need it to be, but it can also be very overwhelming and exhausting and draining at the same time. And then it made me pose this question of, when we do talk about the social media of things and the weight and the pressure of feeling like you have to say something and you have to post, because if you don't post, then you are part of the problem. And what do you think? Where do you stand on this issue if you haven't said anything? But sometimes people don't say nothing because they don't know what's going on. And I'm going to tell you, I'm a person, I ain't going to say nothing if I don't know what I'm talking about. If I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm not going to say nothing. But most times if I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm a person, I try to find out the things, and find out the information once it's brought to my attention. But it's hard to be privy to everything that is happening all the time. And there's so much guilt and social media guilt, especially when you have a platform, right? And anyway, it made me ask this question. I'm going to defer back to my notes so that we can get back on track. When we talk about like how much of, when people post the things, when people do all the things, how much of this is like performance and genuine, right? And we cannot equate, you can't equate it because honestly, people, it's like you damned if you do and you damned if you don't. You damned if you say something about the thing to try to, be in solidarity, and then you're damned if you do and you really don't know what you're talking about, and everybody coming at you, but you felt like you had to do it. Because if you didn't, then you were a terrible person and all this other stuff, right? And it made me think about how there's this thin line between doing something to inform and doing something to perform, right? There's a thin line between you sharing something on social media because you want to inform other people of resources, of whatever is happening, because you may be the only person that could get a certain audience's attention. And if you don't say something, your audience may never know, right? And on the flip side, don't just be doing this to just perform or act like you really care about something that you either don't care about or you don't know about. And so if you're going to do it to inform. Don't do it to perform. That's what I want to say about that. And when you do what you can. Do what you can when you can do it. That can look like checking in on people who are directly affected by whatever is happening in the world, especially currently right now in America with these deportations and immigration and all those things, and just checking in on them, asking them if they need anything, if they want to talk, whatever the case may be. If it's on your heart, donate, pray, whatever that looks like, especially if you have already voted, because child, that was the time to really do something. But I'm not gonna get on it. I'm gonna get off. Can you tell that I'm really trying to find the words to talk about this, because it's hard. Even doing this, I wasn't planning on doing it. I had a whole other video that I was editing and gonna do, but because of how it tied in, I'm okay, well, let me be honest about what I'm currently experiencing and the weight of this awareness of all the things, right? And also, I might add, there have been very peaceful protests that have been happening out here amongst all the other things that are being shown and whatnot. But I'll also add to that, as we are all learning to navigate these crazy times, we have to find, and especially for me, if you are a believer, finding stillness in God in the midst of all the loudness and chaos of the world, because this weight of awareness is not for you to carry alone. We are not robots. We are not saviors. We are humans who have limited capacity and fragile hearts. And truthfully, if my own inner world is on fire, how can I even help anyone else put their fire out? And so there has to be, there's a balance that even I am finding. Yeah, let me talk about me, because I'm just here to talk about me and my experience. Okay, if you don't resonate with it, you don't resonate with it. But yeah, it's been this balancing act of finding and choosing when to, like I said, turn the TV off and when to know what's going on. And asking myself and ask yourself this: how can I stay present with the world and protect my soul and protect my mind and protect my spirit? How can I do that? And it's not going to be the same answer for everyone. For some people, it's going to be going and protesting. For some people, it's going to be, going and getting educated about what's happening, or watching the news, or helping a friend, or volunteering wherever. Like, for everyone, it's going to look different, but you have to ask yourself that. And in this season, because I feel like I've been preaching or saying this a lot to like a lot of different friends, the last thing that I can be concerned with right now is other people's point of views of me, or what someone else is going to think about me if I don't do this or if I don't do that. Child, I'm fighting for my life. I'm fighting for my mind right now. I'm fighting for my joy right now. As I'm doing that, I cannot be concerned with how or what everyone think about me on social media. Somebody gonna have a problem with what you do, one way or another. It's always going to be somebody. It's always going to be something. It's always going to be something for someone to find, or for someone to be happy with. That is not your concern. It's not. If you have the right intention and your heart is in the right place, that's the only thing that we can control right now at the end of the day. Because even when you're not ignoring what's going on, as we should not be ignoring what is going on, you do have to choose how and when to carry it. And that is your choice alone. And it ain't nobody's business. Because sometimes the most radical thing you can do is choose peace in a world that profits off of your panic. It can feel so radical and so selfish to choose peace, but this world profits off of us panicking. This administration profits off of us panicking. It's not a time to panic. It's a time to be aware. It's a time to be alert. It's a time to be informed, but not panicking. It's the same thing that happened whenever what did we run out of? It was like gas. We ran out of gas and all this other stuff. Like, child, yeah, the world profits off of you panicking. The world profits off of your stress. The world profits off of you losing your mind. The most radical thing that you could do to choose your peace, not out of ignorance or avoidance of what is happening, but truly out of trying to find a middle ground of managing both realities. The reality of your inner world that is happening and the reality of the outer world that is happening. Because yes, we are each other's responsibility. Well, are we each other's responsibility? I don't know. It's a duality, right? Like, it's so much like this. It's somewhere between being my brother's keeper and minding my business and drinking my water. Because you gotta pick and choose what that looks like for you. Because I can't tell you what it looked like for you, but I'm sure gonna let you know what it looked like for me. I think that's really all I have to say. Like, that's really all I have to say about it. Because I think we are all learning how to manage and navigate these times, especially those of us who, are in our 20s, where you're supposed, like, this is the time where I'm supposed to be selfish. This is the time that I'm supposed to, like, be able to be in my own world and, like, have this bliss. And also, depending on your proximity to a thing, depends on your privilege of being able to be aware or not be aware of the thing. But I feel like there's enough awareness that we can have at least to hold space. Ain't nobody asking you to be no expert. Ain't nobody asking you to be no activist. Ain't nobody asking you to do all of that. But be aware enough to hold empathy, or to at least have some type of impact or change where you are. Whether that be in your community, whether it be at your church, whether it be at your job when you see injustices. You know what I mean? Bringing the conversation up at the table. Whatever that looks like for you. You get to decide that. But again, in this day and age, ignorance is not an option, baby girl. It's really not an option. But I think we are all learning how to manage this somewhere between, as we literally watch America like change and like literally be on fire right now. Like, I have no other pretty way to put it. I have no other way to package this or say this, because it is so complex and so just all over the place. And I tell y'all all the time, like, I am not an expert. I do not, like, this is even hard for me and like uncomfortable for me, like, kind of speaking about this, but it is something that I'm passionate about in my community, and I'm passionate about the people that are in my community and the people that are in my life, and I love them very deeply. And And I'd be like, I feel helpless. I'm like, I don't know what to do. Which is then when I turn to prayer. Which is then when I turn to God and I'm like, Lord. Because even Jesus was like, Lord, take this cup from me if it's not for me. Even Jesus went, he had some moments of solitude in the midst of his world being on fire and his world being in chaos. And so anyway, my offering for this episode is, as we are witnessing what is happening in our country, as we are witnessing what is happening in our own personal lives, find a way to be present wherever you are. Be there. I think that is the gift that I feel like our, those who have come before us, had. They just got to be where they were. They didn't have a phone telling them this or alerting them about that or whatever. They had a radio and they could turn it on and they could turn it off. And if it was off, it was off. And I can even remember being in school and leaving my phone at home. Granted, it was a Nokia. I wasn't really calling nobody but my parents anyway. But I still remember that. The privilege of getting to unplug and not feel guilty about it. And I feel like that's what I'm navigating right now. Especially being someone that has a platform. Even with this, I was like, how can I post this other episode when it doesn't even feel applicable to what's on my heart this week? I'm gonna close this out now because I feel like I'm rambling. But again, my wish for all of us as we're navigating this, whether you are, in high school, because I know my high schoolers be listening and watching. Hey, y'all. Whether you're in high school about to, navigate this transition from high school to college, or navigating transition from college to the real world, and in adulthood, navigating from your 20s to being an adult or whatever that means, I think we're all navigating different realities, and it's important for us to take care of ourselves as well in the midst of that. There is a way for you to be informed and present in your body, or there's a way for you to be informed and protect your soul and protect your spirit. There's a way for you to do it. I don't know how it is for you, but mine involves pho and watching Reba and Golden Girls and living single. What I don't want to do is be so avoidant of what's happening in my life or what's happening in this world right now that I forget to live. Just remember to live. Remember to live your life in this moment and be where you are, because that is a gift in itself. This life is a gift, and we have it for a reason. And you get to choose how you do that. Yeah. And so sometimes you got to turn the TV off. And then when you turn it back on, you'll be back in your right mind to be able to handle everything that is happening. Child, I don't know. I hope that this makes sense, and I'm going to edit it and make it real magical or whatever. Because Lord knows, I only know what I know. And I'm learning so much in real time, child. But I do appreciate y'all for joining me. I appreciate you for clicking on whatever you clicked on to get here. I appreciate you for being somewhere between with me. Because, child, we need each other. We need each other. My prayer this week is that you will just continue to check in with yourself every day, every hour, if you need to, in the midst of all of the chaos that is happening, whether you are on the picket lines on the front line, or, on the picket lines. It's a picket line? I don't know. Whether you are out there protesting, whether you are trying to put food on your table for your kids, whether you are trying to prepare to graduate and get that degree, whatever it is, honey, child, lamb, I pray that you will take 30 seconds, let's say 60, to just check in with yourself, because I feel like we all need to do that, because life is going to keep lifing. It's going to keep going. It's going to keep going. It's not going to stop. There are going to be a lot of realities that you have to deal with at the same time, but just know you don't have to do it alone, and you don't have to carry it alone, and you don't have to carry all of it at the same time. Because I think that'd be the problem. We be trying to carry everything at the same time and be Cap Save a hoe at the child. That is not my ministry. I know my ministry. I hope that I said something that either spoke to you, blessed you, gave you peace of mind, that you know you're not alone. That I even hope that like there were some things that I said that you was like, bro, I thought I was the only one that was thinking this and I was feeling this, because you're not. You're not the only one that's thinking it. You're not the only one that's feeling it. You're not the only one that's navigating it. And I think we have to hold space for like the two realities, or for many realities, because sometimes it's not just two, it's 3 or 4 at the same time that you're managing and dealing with. And we have to learn what is best for us to do. And I'm doing that in real time. So yeah, child, with that being said, thank you for clicking on whatever you clicked on to get here. I will see y'all in the next episode. Whenever that is, honey, child, lamb. My prayer is just that we all just take care of ourselves and take care of our inner world in the midst of this world, this country being in whatever this dumpster fire is, child. And yeah, because we only do what we can do, and got to leave the rest in God's hands, because he is the only one that can really figure all this out in the name of Jesus. Or I'm praying for the people that he will call up to be the solution to all this stuff that is happening right now. So yeah, take care of yourself in the meantime, and until we meet again, I love you, I mean it. Until next time, peace up, A-Town down. Yeah. Okay, love you, mean it. Bye.